What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Kirk Ray Smith. Y'all know what it is. So welcome to the simulcast of the I Am with Kirk Ray Smith podcast. We're actually simulcasting on video on both Facebook and IG Live. So if you're not following me on IG Live, just look for I Am Kirk Ray Smith. And of course, right here on Facebook, Kirk Ray Smith, also Kirk Smith Unlimited and Associates right there on Facebook. And of course, the podcast, you can find our podcast wherever you search for, locate, or whatever platform or podcast you use. It could be Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, you name it. We're on virtually every platform. So really excited about today's podcast. And so, before we get started, of course, I definitely want to recognize our sponsors, which is One Apparel. See the shirt I'm wearing. Really nice, comfortable clothing, t-shirts, tank tops, casual. If you're looking for some stuff for fitness to work out in, run in, or whatever, really, really high quality apparel. Of course, black owned and operated. So support businesses owned by minorities as we try to, make an impact. And you can find that clothing at One Apparel. That's one apparel.equit.com. Equit is spelled ECWID.com. One apparel.equit.com. Also, if you are in the West Central Florida area, you're looking for vending machines or some kind of snack delivery, you can also reach out to We Got Snacks. Send a quick email to wegotsnacks.fun@gmail.com, or you can find We Got Snacks right there on Facebook. And lastly, Kirk Smith Unlimited and Associates. So if you're looking for life insurance, voluntary benefits such as dental, short-term disability, vision, auto, if you're looking for personal training, consulting, whatever your needs are, you can reach out to Kirk Smith Unlimited and Associates at kirksmithunlimited@gmail.com, and also 727-383-1870, and of course on Facebook at Kirk Smith Unlimited and Associates. So with that, guys, let's get going. So I'm excited about this week. Or this episode, and we try to drop a podcast, at best every week, at worst every couple weeks. Takes a little while for the editing to get everything uploaded, but today I thought it was important that we go ahead and get into this topic. And as you can see in the title, it's people of war, and all of us, believe it or not, are people of war, some type of battle. And those, out there who know me, of course, I served in the military, right? So I'm very familiar with war. For 8 years in the U.S., I'm proudly serving in the United States Army. But I'm not talking about that kind of war, where it's actually, violence or someone's hurting another person. But when I talk about people of war, I talk about the battles that we have every single day. And one of the things that kind of weighs on me, like I'm not against, advice and people giving you insight, right? Like I'm trying to do a little bit of that now. And you have all these influencers out there and people giving all this advice and telling you how to live. And it gets exhausting sometimes because a lot of these people, at the end of the day, really don't care much about you. They're looking for clout. They're looking for popularity and followers and likes and all of this stuff so they can, make money. And I get it. I mean, if that's what you have to do, it's a capitalistic society. And one thing I have no appetite for with the I Am podcast is I never try to convert or convince anybody into my way of thinking. Like, it's never about, well, if this is the way, Kirk sees it, this is the way it should be, or because I see things a certain way, it's the right way, or anything like that. I don't believe in that. I just put out information and you do what you will with that information, because I don't think I'm any better than any person on this earth. I feel like, if you see a homeless person, my absolute belief is all of us are probably, 30 minutes away from that being our reality. Some bad news, a diagnosis, tragedy, whatever, away from that being our reality. So I don't look at myself as being better than any person on earth. In fact, you got some people who go to bed and they wake up in the morning like they were supposed to wake up. When I go to bed and wake up in the morning, I'm surprised that I did wake up. because I know I don't deserve to be here. There's nothing about me that makes me so special. And so with that, I understand that I'm only here because of, God's mercy and his grace. So at any rate, I want to talk about this issue of being people of war. And so bear with me a little bit, but all of us have these battles that we fight internally and externally, right? And ask yourself, how many times throughout your lifetime have you sacrificed your internal peace, right? Internal. You had a lot of unrest internally for the sake of other people. In other words, you were battling yourself internally, so you had war inside, so there can be peace outside. How many times have how many situations or circumstances have people lived a pretty good life, lived relatively comfortably, got away with a whole lot on account of you, where you sacrificed, some of your happiness and things you like to do or like to be for the sake of peace for other people, almost like setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm. How many times have you done what everybody said you were supposed to do? How many times have you, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how I was raised. Or here's what I was taught. Or, I really can't be who I truly am because I don't want to hurt people. So I'm just going to hold back and be something, less. So I'm going to sort of cower down, dim down for the sake of peace. How many times have you done that? So you would be at war with yourself internally so you can be at peace with the world. And while everybody, folks in your household, people around you, whatever, everybody benefited and seemed to be doing pretty good as a result of you sacrificing your peace or your true happiness. There's a lot of people walking around and they got this picture perfect family and all this other, and things seem okay, but they're tormented on the inside. They're doing things and they're sticking with people and staying in relationships and situations because it's what's best for everybody, but it's really not what's best for them, and so they suffer. Right? And so a lot of us go through that throughout our lifetime where we suffer for the sake of the world. So we want the world to have peace, although we have wars internally. You know how destructive that is? You know how much damage you're actually doing to yourself by putting yourself in a position where you constantly stay at a place of unrest on the inside so things can be peaceful on the outside for other people. You know what kind of damage you do to yourself, how much and listen, I'm speaking from experience, that I can't tell you how many times I was tormented on the inside because I wanted to be peaceful on the outside. And I was afraid to be who I truly am, who I truly want to be for the sake of other people. Do you know how many people have committed suicide? Because they hated who they were. They really couldn't be who they wanted to be. And they were afraid to express who they really were to other people out of fear of shame or whatever it is. And so they took their own life. They gave up. They couldn't take it. How many people you think resorted to drugs and became addicts or alcoholics and self-destructive because they were ashamed of something. They were afraid to be who they truly were around other people because they were worried about the impact of how people may react. And so they gave up, they quit, they threw in the towel, so to speak. How many times? And you have to think about this, that it doesn't, you can't live your life. And again, I'm not, you whatever choice you make, okay? I'm just giving you, some of the things that's in my mind. Again, the I Am with Kirk Ray Smith podcast is available on every podcast platform. It's out there, it's free. Go get it, like it, follow, give me 5 stars. All that helps, help the podcast grow and it's reached worldwide. So at any rate, I cannot tell you the number of times where people would be around me happy, having a good time because of something that I did or I helped them or opened the door or whatever it is, but I'm tormented on the inside. I'm not happy at all. I'm sad. I'm tearing myself apart, right? So the choice we have to make is every day, are you going to battle with yourself or the world? Or are you going to give up your peace so everybody else around you can have peace? Now listen, I'm all for sacrifice. Sacrifice has to happen. We all have to make them. But you can't tell me that I was put on this earth just so people can benefit from me and I get nothing out of the deal? You can't convince me that I don't care if a person's married, been dating forever, siblings, parents, grandparents. It doesn't matter to me. Nobody was placed on this earth to be controlled by another human being. So nobody was placed on earth to be dominated or controlled by another human. Like nobody can dictate what makes, in other words, my happiness and my joy has nothing to do with somebody else's opinion. I'm sorry. My happiness, my peace, the things I like, I'm not going to allow other people to decide for me what I'm supposed to be. But unfortunately, a lot of us, we're just that. Somebody tells you what makes you happy, then that's what makes you happy. Somebody says you can smile here, you can't smile there. You can say hi to this person, can't say hi to that person. You can be friends with that person, but you can't be friends with the other person. You can't like that person's photo because I don't want you to like their photo. You can't wear that dress because I don't like that dress. You can't wear makeup because I don't like you in makeup. You can't hang with this person because I don't like that person. You can't eat this because I don't like when you eat that because I don't like it either. You can't live your life under the control of another human being. Oh, don't try this because you're gonna fail. Some of the worst advice I ever had I ever gotten from anybody in my life was, check this out, was hey, Kirk, be realistic. Huh? Some of the worst advice I ever got in my life was somebody telling me to be realistic. In other words, don't dream, don't imagine, don't. That's too huge. That's too large. That's too spectacular. That's gonna make too many people uncomfortable. You shouldn't try that. Most people fail at it. That's not for you. That you see, you know how many people try to put that stuff in my head? That's the worst advice. The greatest advice I ever got in my life was be you. Be who you are. Be proud of who you are. And see, you can't live your life seeking approval and looking for people to pat you on the back and looking for people to give you some kind of, special recognition or affirmation. Like your life can't be about being affirmed by other people. Now, I can tell you this. When you look at what's happening in this country right now, look at everything that's going on right now. All the different divisions, all the different people getting exposed for who they are and what they're about. All these people getting exposed right now. It's a lot of things happening. And see, my thing is I don't try to pray about it or try to fight it. I'll let it happen because, see, this is good because a lot of people getting exposed to who they really are and what they're really about. And a lot of these institutions, religions, and all this other stuff have for years dominated and controlled people for profit and power. And so what me, and it's up to you to do what you think is best for you. Let me make sure that's clear. But for me, I made a decision that I'm no longer going to allow any group, individual, institutional, whatever, control me and decide for me what's right and what's wrong. I'm not going to let you pick for me. You see, because most people, unfortunately, don't have your best interest at heart. Most people, again, they love how you are, but they have no interest in who you are. See, they love how you are, and you follow along, and you're a good boy, a good girl, and you do what you're told, and you make everybody happy, and you abdicate your power, and you're submissive and you're docile, and you just hum along and just please people, and peace and happiness and joy and unity. And doesn't matter how you feel, doesn't matter how you get treated, doesn't matter if your heart is broken, doesn't matter if you cry in the middle of the night, doesn't matter if you can't sleep, doesn't matter if you look in the mirror and you hate yourself, doesn't matter that you can be surrounded by 100 people but yet you feel alone. It doesn't matter that you don't even appreciate your existence anymore. It doesn't matter that you feel like you're getting used. It doesn't matter that you feel like you just want to leave this earth. It doesn't matter. None of that matters as long as you can continue to be just this swell person, this swell gal, this swell guy, just great person that everybody just loves and just gets along with and think you're amazing, and that's it. And then you die, and then we talk about how great you were and how much you meant to us, and we thank God for you, and we know you're in heaven looking down on us. Give me a break. That is not your purpose. That is not why any of us were placed on this earth. None of us were placed here to be stepped on. None of us were placed here for somebody else to decide for us what happiness is, what joy is, what peace is. And see, you almost got to get a little selfish here. And I call it beautifully selfish. And you have to learn how to pick yourself, choose yourself over everybody and everything else. You have to learn the art of picking yourself. You have to learn the art of truly knowing what it's like to be in love with who you are. You have to work on it. And usually what happens when you start to evolve and you change and you start to recognize some of the things I'm saying, and you start to recognize your value, you start to see how important and how amazing you truly are, and you really start fighting for your own peace, and you start putting yourself first, and you start making decisions that's meant to better you, then usually the people that's the closest to you, they're usually the first ones to react negatively. Those in your household, again, spouses, siblings, whomever. They're usually the first ones to react negative because you're no longer what they're used to, what they're comfortable with. And this is what you have to know. You have to know this. We all have to know this. Life is short. It's short. We're not here very long. In the grand scheme of things, we're not here very long. And there's no way that God made me and made you just to come on this earth and never realize our full potential, never really value ourselves, live our lives with limitations because somebody told us we couldn't do this and we couldn't do that. You have these judgmental people who somehow are convinced that they're better than you. They've convinced themselves because they figured it out. They're further along and they're greater than you. So everything you do, if it don't fit their narrative or their definition of what morally sound or righteous or whatever you want to call it is, they jettison you and discount you as terrible. And I'm so thankful that I'm free from that. I'm so thankful that because there was a time in my life where I did live for affirmation. I did look for approval. I expected somebody to say, "Way to go, Kirk." I expected somebody to speak for me. I thought that they were having meetings about how great I was. I thought people got together to figure out ways to help me and support me. I thought people actually met about that. And the reality is, man, nobody's having a meeting on how to make your life better. Nobody's getting together on how better to love you. No, that's not how it works. And that's okay. But you need to have a meeting with yourself, for yourself. And you need to learn how to love yourself. All of us, again, are people of war. We're all fighting something. And the battles are the battles. But you got to decide, okay, am I going to spend my life fighting internally and not at ease at all inside my heart and my own mind? And I'm willing to live that way just to keep the peace on the outside. See, you got to wake up every day. And no matter the cost, you got to wake up loving yourself, make a decision that you're going to fulfill your potential in this life. Now, I personally believe God got me. I'm good. I believe that. That's my belief. I'm good. But you have to live your life and make this decision that, man, I'm ready to lose every person and everything around me for myself. I'm willing to let go of every person and everything around me for my survival. Because there's no way I'm going to allow people or institution or anything else outside of me control me. Because the reason why, because those very same people, those very same things and environments will let you down. Those very same things will turn on you. Those very same things people who you thought had you, man, they're not going to stand with you. See, here's how it is, and I learned this with success, man, over the years, man. Man, this is so true, man. So true. People love to stand beside you, man, shoulder square, chest out, when you're in a parade, man. They love it, man. They wave, do a little wave. The pomp and circumstance. People love to be on stage, and they like to shine, and they clout and all of that. They love to be in the parade when things are going great and well, and you're having some success, and everybody want a piece of that, because people, again, a lot of times they're attracted to what they think they can get as a result of being a part of your life. They're not really into you. They just want to take advantage of what they think they can get as a result of being around you, right? So people love a parade, man. Oh, man, that's my baby. That's my friend. That's my man. That's my woman. That's my girl. That's my boy. But whatever. Everybody seems to be interested in the parade when things are going great in your life and you shining and healthy and strong, and you can keep giving them what they need. You can keep providing them with forgiveness no matter what they do to you. You can keep providing them with money if they need that. Safety, security, all that stuff, sex, whatever they need, you can keep giving it to them. The parade, the fun times, cooking, prestige, clout, whatever it is they can get as a result of being connected to you, promotions, money, whatever. It's a good thing to be a part of your life, the parade. But here's where it changes. 99.8% of the people and 99.8% of the time during the parade, they're with you. Kirk, I got you. Kirk, you my guy. I love you, man. Baby, I'm with you forever. Baby. You the best. Now, again, you can be tore up on the inside. They don't care because they're just getting something. But here's what happens. Everybody, this is how I know we're at war. Everybody, most people, 99.8% of us, want to be with you during a parade until you get behind a horse. Until you get behind a damn horse. As soon as you get behind a horse, you know what horses do in parades and wherever they are, horse races, at the track, the derby, wherever they are, you know what horses do? You know what horses do, man? Do y'all know what horses do, man? Horses. Now, we at the parade, we having a good time. Kirk, my man, I love him. That's my guy. Oh, that's my sweetheart. I love her. Oh, you're so pretty. You used to give me sex, give me everybody happy. Until you get behind a horse. So now all of a sudden, that person you thought was amazing and great, things ain't going so well. So you know what horses do? Horses, they just defecate. Right? They shoot that stuff out from their behind. You know what I'm talking about. Starts with SH, ends with IT, starts to fly. Now, all of a sudden, where are all those people that was in the parade with me? Everybody wants to be with you in the parade until you get behind a damn horse. And all this time, you tearing yourself up on the inside, making all kinds of sacrifices, putting yourself last. I mean, even kids will do this to you when they grow up. They show you the signs when they're preteens and teenagers, what they like. Takes them a while sometimes. That everybody forgets. And you sitting here hurting on the inside, and you didn't want to be in the parade. But you did it because it was what everybody expected of you, and it was what's best for the greater good and whatever. Isn't it interesting how you do all this stuff for the greater good, but the greater good don't love you back? The people in the parade, when the stuff start flying, and now you got to dodge turds, they disappear because it's too tough, it's too rough for them. You know, oh my God, you're the sexiest man alive, or you're the prettiest girl in the world, then you gain a little weight. Oh man, I'm with you, then your money start getting tight. Oh, I'm with you, and see, what it teaches you, one of the things it can teach you, let them run. When the stuff starts flying, let them run. And see, here's what happens. See, I've been through this stuff. And they start doing you wrong, man. And I said, wait a minute, okay. Now, I never said, hey, horse, stop letting stuff out in front of me. I never said that. I never said, hey, horse, would you quit? Hey, horse, please stop putting manure on the. Look, a horse is doing what's natural to him. Look, that's a horse being a horse. Who am I to tell a horse not to let stuff out of his or her behind as they walk? That's what horses do. So anything other than that would be horseless. So anyway, let the horse be what the horse wants to be. So now, while the horse is doing what it's got to do, I'm figuring out how to maneuver and get around that stuff and how to survive. So sometimes I got to take a couple of them, boom, get hit, and then others I can get around. But I done figured out a way to not only survive in that environment, but thrive. And I made it through the parade. And then the horse stuff stopped. Now people want to come back into the parade, but no, you're no longer invited to the parade. Because you never really loved me. You loved how I was. You didn't really care for me. What you cared for is what I provided for you. And for some of us, it takes too long for us to figure that out, man. You get to later on in life to figure out that you have to value yourself. You don't want an epiphany or come to this realization when you're 75 years old. You don't want to, man. As soon as possible, figure out your value and your worth and how great you are. And you decide your happiness. You decide your joy. You decide your peace. You decide where to go. You decide where not to go. You decide who to be with and who not to be with. You decide how to do your hair. You decide on whether you should wear lipstick or not. Should you go with red, brown, or with the clear? You should decide, should you wear earrings or not? You should decide, should you wear your hair short or should you wear it long? Should you get a weave or should you wear a wig? Or should you just go straight up or natural? You decide how you do that. A close cut beard or a thick beard or no beard or just a mustache or a goatee. You decide. Should you go to school or not and get your degree? Should you start your business or not? Should you wear this or not? You decide, man. Not another person. Stop being at war with yourself, and you know what you really want to be. You know how you really want to be. You know what's on your mind and what you're thinking, but you hold back on all of that stuff because you're worried about how people on the outside are going to react to you. Stop worrying about their reaction and take action. Because I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of people who are laid up and they are sad and they are depressed and they shoulda, coulda, woulda. But they let people control them only for those people to turn around and hurt them and to let them down. You're not placed here to be controlled by another human being. No human can control you. Then you might as well take me out then. Kill me then. I'd rather you kill me than control me. I'm not living like that. Y'all got to, man, take control and get your power back. No matter the cost. Your whole life, my kids, my kids, my kids, my kids. Okay, I get that. But man, that's for a short period of time. Them jokers going to grow up and they're going to do their own thing, have their own friends, own relationships. They're going to live as individuals. And that's why I tell you, kids are not legacies. Kids are individuals. You can give them the best life, the greatest examples of everything, and they can grow up and be criminals. That's their choice. They can grow up in some of the worst circumstances in terms of economics and poverty and all of this and be incredibly successful people. Listen, with my 3 sons, they're all grown, but I made a decision myself that I'm never going to accept the blame for their failures, nor will I accept or take credit for their successes. They're individuals. It's their choice. Can I teach them things? Can they pick up some of my characteristics? Sure, certainly. But that's not my legacy. They are individuals, man. You are an individual. I am an individual. And you have to learn the art and the science of loving yourself and learn how to live it. Be at peace with you. Lay down at night at peace with who you are. You're not going to be happy every day, but lay down with satisfaction as to who you are. Get in your square and find comfort there. Listen, you attract who you are, not who you want. What I'm saying there is this. If you have certain views, world views, the way you see things, and listen, people change over time. There's no requirement for me or you to be the same for the rest of our lives. You can change. Your views can absolutely change. The way you see the world can change, right? Your values can change. Things can change. You can change. It's okay. But what's going to happen is as you evolve and whatever you're becoming, then you're going to draw similar people. So people who are diametrically opposed or who don't agree with your viewpoint, who see it differently, they're not going to be around you. And that's okay. And you're not going to be around them. You can't spend hours and hours and days and weeks and months around people who see the world differently from you. It's not going to last anyway. Stop looking for that. So unity, if the definition of unity is a bunch of people coming together who see the world differently, well, that's impossible. That's overrated. What you need is unity within self. You need to be at peace with self first. And I learned this and I found this to be true. People who truly love who they are. No, truly. I'm not talking about something poetic or something cliche or cute. I'm saying that people who truly care about who they are, who truly love themselves, are way better. They're better friends. They're better partners. Whatever it is, they're better. They're better people to be around. They're more successful because they've cracked the code. They figured out that their value can never be predicated on what other people have to say about them or anything external. You have to figure out how to love yourself and stop fighting you. Stop being at war with yourself. The biggest battle to me that you should be fighting as an individual is how to get better, how to improve. Fight that battle. Wiser, smarter, healthier, more fit. Those types of things, those are spiritually stronger. Those battles. But you shouldn't be fighting at war and uneasy about who you are. And you shouldn't be getting in front of a mirror and not liking who you see. Because if nobody else in the world cares about who you see in the mirror, you have to. If nobody else in the world will give themselves for you, you have to be willing to give yourself for yourself. If nobody else in the world thinks you're attractive or beautiful, then you better learn how to think that, look in the mirror and be really attracted. Probably doesn't sound right, but attracted to yourself. And learn how to lock into that. I'm not depending on a religion or some type of civic group or fraternity, sorority, some club, some affiliation, some association. I'm not dependent on that to determine my value and my greatness. I'm not waiting on some outside group to give me an award or some kind of recognition or some kind of accolade for me to affirm or get affirmation. I'm not waiting on that. I'm not waiting on another human being to come and tell me anything good about me. Why should I wait for that? I tell myself how valuable I am. I'm convinced myself. I work on it every day. I get better and better at recognizing how uniquely and how wonderful and how amazing God made me. I'm a work in progress, but I'm still working on it nonetheless. Recognizing that, wait a minute, Kirk, you are incredible. Kirk, wait, hold up, man. Stop for a second. You are important. And your importance has nothing to do with possessions or things you have or don't have or your education. It has nothing to do with it. See, that like love starts on the inside. So love is something that comes from the inside of us. And I realize as human beings aren't placed here to be used, they're placed here to be loved. But how often is it the former? That people use us and we use people. And we use them, wear them down and use them and kick them to the curb, man. Until we take everything from them till they got nothing left for us. And then we just walk away and we like a grape, you take all the juice from and just leave them to die. Like a raisin. But that's not how you treat human beings. But a lot of us have allowed ourselves to be used and not loved. See, love, you gotta be able to decipher between the two. We confuse love, right? We confuse being used with love. You're not being loved, you're being used. Oh, do whatever you want to me, I'll forgive you. Treat me any kind of way, I'll never be vindictive or treat you back. Hit me in the jaw, and I'm gonna turn the other cheek. Take my money and borrow money from me and never pay me back. Call me all kind of names and I'll laugh it off. Call me fat and it's funny. Cheat on me with 19 women, but I'll stay here with you forever. And never shall I have a thought of ever cheating, because if God forbid, if I even think about being with another man, I'm the worst person in the world. You can be with 20 women and I'm supposed to forgive you and it's A-okay because you're a guy and you're a man and I'm supposed to submit to you and do whatever you say. That's right. Because men are just different. Man, give me a break. Come on. Those are lies. People tricking y'all and y'all fall for it every single time. We fall, I'm telling you, too many times. Oh, my whole life is predicated on my job. And where would I be without my job? And my whole life is tied up in my job. And I hope my boss is happy with me. And oh my God, if they fire me, my life is over. And I'm terrible. Come on, yo. No. Oh, they call me fat. They call me ugly. I must be fat and ugly. I'm too dark. Oh my God, my skin is too dark, so I hate myself now. Oh, I wish I could be like those girls and IG models. And I wish I can, do the TikTok dances and get all the likes and the followers, man. First of all, do you think any of those people who like and follow and click and all this other stuff and give hearts, whatever you give, even care about those people one bit? No. No, no, no. And as soon as we get something, oh, I need to show everybody my new car. I need to show you my new house and how happy we are. And we're taking vacations and we're on the beach and we have this and we have that. Look at us. Oh, life is so grand. I have so many things. Oh, I have this much money in the bank now. I'm on the come up. Look at how well I'm doing, haters. First of all, man, most people who do that don't have a thing. People who do well don't show you, bro. Successful people, they rarely show you anything. Like, hey, that's it. Look at our house being built. God is trying to put God in it. God is good. Come on, man. Give me a break. That ain't about God. That's about you. So at any rate, we got to find a way, folks, to stop having all these battles inside of us while the world is at peace. And you sit there and you take it and you suffer and you battle and you're in pain and you cry and you're sad, you're unfulfilled, you're unhappy, you're upset, you're cranky, you're cantankerous, and you're agitated, and all this stuff, where everybody around you seems to benefit and be okay, no matter what you go through or dealing with. And so when are we going to realize that, you know what? Maybe God isn't the way people have been trying to make me think he is. Maybe God ain't like that. Perhaps some of this stuff that people have been telling me about tradition, the way things are supposed to be, maybe some of that stuff was a lie, and it was designed to create power, prestige, and profit for certain people. And it wasn't really meant, didn't have my benefit or my best interest at heart. Just maybe that this person hovers over me and watches every move that I make, not because they're worried about me doing something, they don't want me catching them. Perhaps, these people who say they love you, maybe it's not a good idea to put all your business on social media and tell everybody to pray for you. Maybe that's not a good idea, right? Because everybody you ask to pray for you, number one, don't care about you. And we as humans, one of the main reasons you have traffic jams on highways is not because of an accident on your side of the road, because they're looking at an accident on the other side of the road, that rubberneck. And the thing is that we like tragedy, we like injury, we like sadness, we like hurt. So what we do is you look for pain and hurt in other people and in their situations. And so people are more entertained by that than your successes anyway. So my thing is I don't show anything. I treat my successes, my failures, my good deeds, and my not so good deeds all the same. It's between me and God. I don't do any of that. You won't get anything from me on that stuff, because people who know me know me. You know what I mean? And that's that. If you want to know something about me, call me, text me. You know what I mean? I don't do all that. But we live in a society now where people live and die by how well they're embraced on social media or how much people know about their business. Man, anybody got time for all that, man? And first of all you doing is create more haters anyway. Because that's what people are. They want to, they want to see, you get people who are very envious, man, and jealous of you, who may have done something to you in the past and they didn't want anything more than you to fail. And then to see you shine and being successful, they're hurt by that. So they're going to try to do whatever they can to bring you down. You know what I mean? And so, but not to go too far off. And so let me wrap this up. And again, this is I Am with Kirk Ray Smith podcast. You can find the podcast on every platform. Wherever you find podcasts, you can find this one. Again, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast. We're out there. You can find us anywhere. And this is, I think, our 5th episode or 6th, can't remember. But so jump on that, because it's a good podcast and I like where we're going, and it's getting better. I'm independent. I don't have a bunch of sponsors and all that other stuff. So, you do y'all know how it is when you're independent, man. You got to put a lot into it. But at any rate, as I wrap up, we got to stop this war, man, and we're fighting on the inside and find out how to get some peace and, find your square, get where you need to be and be happy with who you are and stop being so apologetic in your behavior and your disposition, you know what I mean, and your words and all this stuff about who you are, man. Be you, do you. You know what I mean? Because in the day, all you got is you. I can tell you right now, people, you can be with somebody for 20 years. It don't matter, man. People flip on you in a heartbeat. And again, you got to stop confusing being used with love. Most people don't love you. Most people will use you, but most people do not truly love you. It's what you provide. It's the convenience. It's the comfort. It's the this. It's the that. That's what they're into. Not so much you, because the minute you stop doing those things, watch how they change. Watch how they change. It's a real easy test. When you start putting yourself first, you find out who really loves you, because people who truly love you wouldn't want nothing more but for you to put yourself first and for you to be happy and at peace with who you are. You know what I mean? So anyway, with that, this has been I Am with Kirk Ray Smith podcast. Very excited and thankful that you guys have joined us for this episode. Make sure you give me 5 stars, follow, get the alerts when the podcast is up, share it, let other people know about it, get it out there. It's a very young podcast. Again, we're like 5 or 6 episodes in. My co-host will be joining me soon on subsequent episodes, and we got some exciting topics, and we got some great guests lined up, celebrities and regular folks like you and I. Just a lot of great stuff to come. So jump on the podcast. I Am with Kirk Ray Smith. And hey, you never know. We might pop in with a few, a little too early today, but we might have a few drinks. Who knows what might happen on the podcast, man. So appreciate everybody. And hey, whatever you're doing, keep doing it. If you're improving, improve some more. If you smile, smile more. If you love yourself, then keep loving yourself. If you don't, perfect it. But got love for all you out there, man. Show love for your mans. If you're on Facebook, share the live video. If you're on IG Live, share it, tag, let your folks know so the show can grow. Didn't mean to rhyme, but it happens all the time. 1.